Oh yeah, Didi got a podcast.
Attitudes and our work ethic become very important in realizing our goals and opening up possibilities. I had lunch a couple of weeks ago with a recent graduate at UCA. And his story is really fascinating. It's one of overcoming homelessness during his time pursuing his degree, first at a community college here in Arkansas and then finishing his bachelor's degree here at UCA. His narrative ranges from estrangement from family for many years to a hopeful reunion with mother and siblings. His record is one of overcoming odds in a way that I probably could not, and certainly demonstrating levels of tenacity and patience and optimism that I can only marvel at. He wanted to talk with me about his new job and his career path going forward. I really need to be there to learn from him because that's where the real value was.
Everything I say in this video is alleged. Allegedly.
No such thing as a life that is better than yours. Y'all can just repeat after me. I really appreciate it. Alright. No such thing. Come on, you do better than that. Talk to it. Talk to it. Alright, let's start it over. No such thing as a life that's better than yours.
You're worse than the rich white people who are, or the rich white Jews that own these record labels, because they don't even understand these populations. You have a lot closer relationship to these people, and you're leading them to hellfire. You are leading them in the wrong direction in the name of getting rich and famous. How dare you? Oh yeah, Didi got a podcast. What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. This is gonna be a little different, man. Because clearly I missed something. It wasn't originally my plan to go live. I've been working on a documentary that has nothing to do with Candace Owens, has nothing to do with politics, has nothing to do with Charlie Kirk, has nothing to do with Turning Point USA. This is a documentary I've been working on for like the last month and a half. And a lot of my supporters that have been following me for years, well before this Charlie Kirk situation happened, I'm putting this together so that I can be able to feed that part of my audience. Which, by the way, many of you found my channel because of the Charlie Kirk situation. But I would like to use this time. We have over 1,000 people in the room already, and we haven't even been live 60 seconds yet. So let me just say, I appreciate the support, but I want to use this time to also say that if you found my channel by way of the Charlie Kirk incident, I would highly encourage you to check out my other content. I have documentaries. I cover everything. One video will be about Donald Trump. The next video will be about MK Ultra. The next video will be about Freemasonry. The next video will be about rappers, the music industry, and the list goes on. So I want to use this time to say, please, please, please check out my other content, because when I start dropping content that's completely unrelated to Charlie Kirk, I don't want to catch many of you off guard. All right? Please hit the like button on your way in. Remember to follow me on Instagram and X as we are continuing to grow over there. Let's hop into this Candace Owens situation, because some people believe that Candace Owens is missing, including this journalist, this investigative journalist. His name is Mr. George. We're going to hear what he has to say. He has a trending video right now on Twitter. We're going to hear what he has to say, and I'm going to give my response.
Is missing. Candace is missing. Candace is missing. We are going to completely configure our newsroom in Michigan for a Zoom room to track Candace, track her threats that are against her. We're bringing people into the Zoom room to manage this on a 7 by 24 basis. Hopefully, we're bringing people in to live there, to track her in the Zoom room in Michigan. We'll also be following it on my channel. I'm going to be working with Peter Duke to track the folks. We have our folks in Geneva. We have our folks in Paris. We have our folks in Germany that have been covering the murders of journalists and statesmen in Germany for keeping the Ukraine war going. We think these are war-motivated murders to knock down dissent against the Ukraine war. Again, a very Rothschild banker war, just like all the other ones. So we don't believe the threat is from the Macrons. We believe it's higher up, the puppeteers, not the puppets. We believe that's where the threats are coming from, and we're opening up the Zoom room right now. I just spoke to Aaron Adler, the Super Jew. We're going to run this thing down until Candace reappears. So there you have it. Journalists all over the world want to invite to the Zoom room. Laissez-faire Lounge in London. I'm going to just say Manchester for harsh reality. Jay Embry, the Pavarotti in Arkansas at the new Arkansas Raphael factory there. Bertie in the Midwest. All of the folks, we're reaching out to all the folks who do online group journalism, community journalism for Zoom room updates. We're starting today. We're starting today because we didn't see Candace show up today at 2.
Now, I do want to say that apparently I've already seen many of your comments. I saw some people saying this on Twitter as well. Apparently, Candace Owens announced, like in the last few seconds before her live ended Friday, that she wasn't going to be going live Monday. So she originally said she was going to see everybody Monday, and then she changed her mind. So that would 100% explain why it is that she didn't go live today. And I also want to say that she has tweeted today. It was about 10 hours ago, but she did tweet today. But this was before that being when she announced this Friday. This was before she announced to everybody about the obvious elephant in the room, the threat. What I'm trying to figure out is, what did I miss when it came to Candace, when it comes to Candace? Because clearly there's something that I missed in the last couple of years. I go online and I would expect there to be overwhelming support. It does not matter if you like her or not, people. It doesn't matter if you agree with her politics. It doesn't matter if she really upset you for something. What matters is we have an American citizen that has come out and said that her life, there's been a hit placed on her life, and that leaders of another country has paid for it. And I don't know if you all have seen it, but she since said 1.5 million. Let me show you all the tweet. So let's see here. So let's see. When everything is said and done, and the public learns that Macron allegedly moved $1.5 million for my pow-powing, how will the world respond? Now, the allegedly word will probably throw you all off, but it doesn't throw me off in particular because when you're making statements like this, if you can remember to do it, it's always important to put the allegedly, because you can maybe prove that the money was sent, but then it can get tricky from a legal perspective on who was the exact person that sent the money, right? So that's the responsible thing to do. Not saying that Candace is always remembering to be responsible in her language, but I want to state that. Now, this is what I'm trying to figure out, because there's something that I missed. Why don't people believe this? Right? Like, why don't people believe this? So you believe that The government can be behind the mass murder of millions of people with the needle in the arm. I don't want to say the C word, from 2020, when the whole epidemic was taking place. You believe that? But foreign governments hiring people to take out journalists that are exposing too much, that's where you draw the line? So it's totally normal to question JFK, MLK, RFK, 9/11, the needle in the arm epidemic that happened or started in 2020 that has since been proven to be a lie. Fauci leading that, Russiagate, Ukraine, and the list goes on. But when it comes to the Charlie Kirk incident, let's just trust the government and see how the investigation pans out. When it comes to Candace, she must be lying. I'm trying to figure out, what did I miss when it comes to Candace? Why don't I see and view Candace the way all these other people view her? And this is a genuine question. I'm seeing so many comments. Tim Pool posted a video today to Twitter and YouTube, pretty much clowning Candace, playing into the Candace has went crazy theme. Y'all, this is a genuine question. I'm willing to bring someone on the live right now, not joking. Well over 2,000 people watching right now, to help me understand what I'm missing. Why don't I see Candace Owens as this cuckoo crazy person? Where are these people getting this from? They're claiming Candace Owens has lost her mind. She's not important enough for anybody to go after her, while simultaneously forgetting that this has already happened and has been proven. The FBI, it was proven by way of the FBI that this has already happened before, a year ago, and Candace proved it. They're also forgetting that Andrew COVID literally told Candace there was a credible threat on her and Tucker a day and a half before anyone knew about this whole trans group or this Tyler Robinson person being behind Charlie Kirk. Who was Andrew COVID talking about? What was he talking about? What am I missing here?
Yesterday, Candace Owens dropped information that multi-state actors have dropped an assassination hit upon her. And today she dropped even more information about where that money has come from, and she says that the U.S. government knows about it. Today, other news sources are saying that their sources within national security are confirming that, yeah, the U.S. government knows about Candace Owens' assassination plot. And it's like, oh, of course they know about it.
So I'm going to pause this. Let me make sure I'm a little bit big on the screen. It has been confirmed by other people that's affiliated with the government. It doesn't have to come from Kash Patel. It doesn't have to necessarily come from Trump. It would help. Yes, it would be more satisfying if Candace provided undeniable, irrefutable proof right away. But it's not always the smart thing to do that up front. This is not the Defend Candace Owens show. This is the Defend Common Sense, Defend Truth show. Emerald Robinson said, a national security source just told me this threat against Candace Owens is real. I already shared this on my post on YouTube, so go and check it out if you haven't seen it yet. Someone responded to her and said, well, is the U.S. government going to do anything about it to counter this? Her word was simply no. Are y'all still going to run with this narrative that Candace Owens is just out here just lying? What is going on? One thing people say is that Candace Owens is doing this for attention. Y'all, the woman that's had millions of followers for the last 7-8 years. What do you mean attention? Candace Owens is doing this for money. Y'all, I've been YouTubing for 5 years. Please just allow me to go on a 45-second rant, a 60-second rant. YouTube is what we would call the big dog. Anybody that's a content creator know that YouTube is the big dog. Number one, it's one of the hardest platforms to actually grow on. Number two, it's the platform with the most financial potential. Right? Number three, any content creator will tell you, unless you're a female and you're doing like makeup and you can get brand deals and sponsorship deals and all of that, then you can thrive on a TikTok and an Instagram because of the sponsorship deals. But as far as the content itself, there isn't a platform on earth you're going to make more money by way of CPM and RPM than YouTube. Why am I sharing this? I'm not pocket watching. I do this for a living now. I can tell you how this works. Just a shot in the dark. Candace Owens is making more money in 1 month than most YouTubers will make in their entire YouTube career. I'm going to go a step further. Candace Owens makes more money in 1 month just from the views alone than most YouTubers will make in 10 years before the Charlie Kirk situation. Do you follow me? This argument that she's doing this for money is laughable to me. And we're not even talking about her sponsorship deals, Instagram and Twitter, her books, her website, her book club. This woman is not making YouTube videos for money. You have to pick something else. That makes no sense. Candace Owens has went crazy. How? You all said she was lying about Charlie Kirk's position. She drops the text messages. All of a sudden, everybody goes out, hides in the corner. The woman has been dropping receipts all year. What am I missing?
Because look what Candace has dug into about Charlie. The FBI's in on that one too, right? This is the deep state globalists. The deep state are globalist pedo fucks. This is connected to Epstein. It's connected to the Zionists. These motherfuckers are not one single state. They all work together. This is a whole group of satanic fucking pedo psychopaths that think they rule over us. And when we find out what they're doing, their answer isn't to like, oh, my bad, maybe we'll fucking roll this back. No, they go harder.
Y'all gonna have to excuse the profanity. You know, I usually edit these videos to edit out the cursing. I don't care for the curse words, but I didn't have time to do that. So excuse the curse words, but we care more about the information today.
They pull full mast down and their answer is to fucking kill us all. That's what they think they're going to do here. They think they are so above the law and above reproach. Look who's squealing the most over all of this. Who's screaming the most about Tucker and Candace just asking questions? Oh, is it the fucking Zionists? And what rhetoric have they been spewing? That Josh Hammer dude, he's out there going, we have to neutralize Tucker. Like, really? Really? Just don't even give a fuck. Other people would be arrested for saying shit like that, but somehow they spew this shit and nothing happens to them. You shall know them by the fruits of their labor. Who had the most to gain from Charlie Kirk's assassination? Who had the most to gain from 9/11? Who had the most to gain? That's how you know who is responsible for these fucking horrific events where and it's always emotional manipulation. Emotional manipulation. That is the key to every fucking psyop, where these fucking military actions, these deep state pedo motherfuckers, and this is how we fight them. We don't need the government to fight them. We each other drag them out into the light. It's like Rumpelstiltskin, right? That's these old allegories. These are exactly right. These Zionists, they promise wealth, and all they want in return is your firstborn child. But when you drag them into the light, you call them out by name, you expose what they are doing, they stomp their feet. And they fucking, oh, you can't talk about what we're doing. And it's like, no, we're going to talk about what you're doing. And that's what's going to force you evil motherfuckers back into the shadows from whence you have fucking crawled, you psychopath, pedo, corrupt pieces of shit. These globalists, the deep state, they are the globalists. The one world government that they've always talked about, it's already been here, working behind the shadows. Fucking manipulating shit, manipulating all of us. It's the media, it's Hollywood, it's every single fucking institution, from the churches, the CIA, the FBI, all the way to the fucking tippity top. You got Susie Wiles out there. That's Trump's chief of staff. We all should have known. You look back into her, she is fucking Benjamin Netanyahu's campaign advisor forever. She spent most of her time in Israel. She is the one gatekeeping Trump. And I have not given up hope on Trump, because Trump, one, he is the only politician I have ever seen that is willing to redirect course. And I think he's going to see the writing on the wall. I hope so.
Nope. You by yourself with that one, buddy. For those of you that are newer to this channel and you don't know my position on Donald Trump, let me make that clear in as short of a way I can say it. I think Donald Trump was a much better option than Kamala Harris on a low level or a two-dimensional perspective. Sure, I agree. At the same time, Donald Trump was paid off from the jump. Donald Trump was paid off from the jump. Every argument they made about Biden just about actually applied to Trump. Biden is too old. Trump is up there too. Biden can't be trusted. Trump can't either. It's not a coincidence that every politician gets in there and they don't do the things that they told us. He's no exception. If you haven't seen my Donald Trump Freemason video, I would highly suggest you go and do it. If you haven't seen my Donald Trump the Dark Magician video, some of these are short documentary style videos. I would highly suggest you go and watch it out. I'm a fair person. I give people credit when they deserve it, and I give them criticism when they deserve it. Sure, Trump has done things that I agree with. I love the fact that he signed all those executive orders. He attacked the gender ideology, but y'all don't understand why I got 3,500 people in here. Let me tell you this, why I got you here. These politicians will make things so bad that when the next administration comes in, you're so hell-bent on them changing it that they'll give you the low-hanging fruit. They'll give you the crumbs when all of them are in the same playing field. They are. So, but because he came in, he was like, hey, no biological males can go in the bathroom with biological females. We was like, right on. That's what we're talking about. Protect our women. Protect our girls. Right? Then all of a sudden, everybody knew how to define what a woman is again. But all the other stuff that are far more important, look what Donald Trump has been doing. And they're not going to stop. This will continue.
I hope so. Otherwise, he can go down with the rest of these globalist pedo fucks. I am loyal to no man. I am loyal to America. It is America first, America only, and the truth rules the day. I do not make excuses for fucking people. I just want the truth. We all should just want the truth. So keep noticing things out there. Godspeed to Candace Owens. Spread the word. Don't bury your fucking head in the sand. And don't fucking pledge loyalty to any one man. Pledge loyalty to America and the truth.
And the truth is Jesus Christ. Let's be clear about that. Let's make sure we say that his name. Right? But I'm going to do something better for you all. I'm about to show you all a video of somebody that broke down, because many of you all that's in here right now support the work that Candace Owens has been doing. Well, there are people that make videos for people like us because we have been manipulated, according to them. Candace has some very manipulative tactics that she uses to keep us engaged while not providing any evidence. There's a YouTube channel called What Do You Mean? I'm going to show you all what he said. We're going to react to his video together. But before we do that, I want to show you all something. I want to go to the comment section of Tim Pool's video today. And I thought I was going to click on a video where he's bashing Candace. He's making fun of her. He's laughing at her. She's went crazy. And here's Candace Owens with the latest cuckoo stand. She claims that these people are after her. He literally has no proof that they're not after her. Let's go to the comment section. And this is why I said, okay, Didi, maybe you're tripping. Maybe you tripping, bro. So here's let me see if I can make this. So let's go to the comment section. We won't spend too much time on this. So that's somebody defending her. So let's see. Okay, all of these comments are defending Candace, actually. Okay, so let's get to all the ones that weren't. Most of them were not. Okay. Okay, I'm surprised. All of these are defending her. Yeah, someone said, Tim, as someone who recently received several serious death threats, I think it says a lot about you to laugh at this. He was laughing at it in the video. He thinks that it's funny. He thinks that this is a laughing matter. Because in his mind, he says that Candace went crazy. No, she didn't, dude. Okay, these more recent comments are actually really good. Tim, you aren't trying to expose foreign governments the same way that Candace is. Exactly. I'm actually going to click off of this. All these comments are actually defending her. These are more recent comments. Well, there's no need to go through them. I was just going to show you all how bad it's gotten. But I do have a video I want to show you. I'm going to show you all something. And I'm curious, and I'm literally going to talk and look at the comment section with you all to see what you all think about this video. It's from a YouTube channel called What Do You Mean? We're going to react to it from Twitter. And he's going to explain to us how Candace Owens is manipulating us. We're the victims. As a reminder, please hit the like button, people. Please hit the like button. I would really, really appreciate it. So let's go and see what he has to say. It says, the dangerous deception behind Candace's method. This video breaks down how Candace Owens persuades millions, not with evidence, but with a powerful psychological formula that turns questions into conviction and outrage into certainty. I can almost guarantee you ChatGPT typed that for him, but that's okay. Let's see what he has to say about those of us that have been manipulated by Candace.
Candace Owens might be one of the most persuasive voices online right now. What she's really doing, whether she knows it or not, is one of the most effective persuasion formulas on the internet. Her videos on Charlie Kirk's assassination have averaged millions of views, and Candace is incredibly good at one thing, making people feel certain without ever proving anything. So I sat through all 36.
Let's just stop him right there. It is fair to say that Candace Owens has not provided absolute proof to every single claim she has ever made. She often says She keeps her sources, some of her sources' identity, a secret because they don't want to be on record, or she wants to protect their identity. If you choose to take that information and say she's lying about it, you have every right to do that. But if a person has a track record of literally proving these things to be true, why would you not take her word for it? Like people saying, I saw people under the Tim Cad's video. I couldn't find the video, the comments at this very moment, but they were saying, this is the same woman that claimed that Donald Trump called her earlier this year and asked her to stop talking about Brigitte Macron as a favor. This woman has went crazy. Hold up. Candace Owens literally knows Donald Trump personally. She's met him multiple times through Turning Point USA and other measures. She knows multiple people on a personal level in the Trump administration. You're saying this person is going to come out on her platform, one of the biggest platforms in conservative media, and she's going to lie on Donald Trump saying that he called her. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? These are the same people that will say, this woman claimed that Macron, she thinks that Brigitte Macron is actually a man. This woman has lost her marbles. Who raised you people? She hasn't even proved that. Dude, I dare you to sit down with me and watch 30 minutes of her Becoming Brigitte series. And I want you to look at me with a straight face. We're not even talking about all of it. Just 30 minutes. There's no way you watch that documentary and you come away thinking, nope. Stop it. Because once you watch the documentary and it's overwhelmingly persuasive, then you're going to move the goalpost and you're going to then say, well, who cares? Why do we care what people have between their legs? Stop changing the argument, dude. This isn't about simply if the person is male or female. It's about the implications. It's about why they do these things on a high level. Was it George Bush? President George Bush, one of them. His wife? Let me see in real time. I want to show you all something. Let me see if I can find this video. George Bush's wife. Let me see if I can find this video. Okay, is this it? Let me see if this is it. This might be it. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Barbara Bush interview. This is it. Okay, I'm about to show you all something. I'm about to show you all a video, and you all tell me what you think. I won't say it because we're on YouTube. This is Barbara Bush. I believe this was George Bush's wife, quote unquote wife. Tell me what you all think about this interview.
I'm going to speak with a different accent. And just between you and me,
there's luncheon in.
Hello, I'm Roberta Crisson. This is Facets, Politics 80, one of a series of political interviews with ramifications for all of us this year of presidential elections. I'm privileged and pleased and honored to have next to me Mrs. Barbara Bush, the wife of presidential hopeful, George Bush, who has survived a harrowing 2 days to get here. And
so first and foremost, look at the body size of this person. This is supposed to be a woman sitting next to another woman. Do you all before we talk about anything else, look at the size difference. Yes, sure, all people aren't the same size. This person has quite a bit of size on this woman sitting next to her. But let's continue.
Sit in here for our interview today, and I'd like to welcome you and say hello to Pennsylvania. And I wish we had better weather for you, but hopefully it will clear soon. Mrs. Bush will be speaking with us today on issues that are near and dear to her heart and which she feels are of vital importance to the country as a whole. I'd like to begin our questions, if I could, Mrs. Bush, on a rather serious.
She seems to be struggling to remember to say Mrs. Bush. I'm just saying. Knowing what I know already, looking at this person from the side of their face, I can already tell what I need to know. But let's continue.
This note, you brought in your bag this morning with 2 small buttons on it. Mm-hmm. Something that you said was very important to you, and I'd like for you to explain those if you could.
Well, at a breakfast this morning, someone gave me 2 buttons, one for George and one.
People. I'm about to frame this way. This is not what I'm saying. All right? So let me make sure YouTube can hear me and see me when I say this. YouTube, I'm not saying this. This is not my position. This is not my belief. Other people believe that this looks a lot like a man. They believe that the facial structures, the hand size, the broad shoulders is consistent with that of a biological male. That is not my position, YouTube. I'm going to play about 30 more seconds of this. You pay attention to what you all need to see. You take away what you need to take away. And then we're going to continue with the Candace point. When I first watched this video, it creeped me the heck out.
For me, that had a 5-0 on it. This was they said I must wear it until we get back our hostages.
Look at that hand size. Look at the eyes. Y'all, there's a difference between the way men and women's our facial structures are just different. Look at this.
And I said to the lady, but there aren't 50 hostages. There are 53 hostages. Mm-hmm. And I feel very strongly that the President of the United States has really let us down. There are 3 hostages held by the government itself and 50 held by the terrorists, so-called students. When the president says we've had a breakthrough, incidentally, the day of a primary.
Even the mannerisms, the facial expressions, the quick and agile head movements are all those of certain type of human beings.
We've had a breakthrough, and maybe we're going to get the 50 shifted over to the government. Well, what difference does that make? They've had 3 all along, and they have not returned them to us. So the government is not acting in good faith. And when the president puts 50 Christmas trees to symbolize the hostages, I think it's a deception to the United States public. There are 53 hostages. So I think the button really is sort of sad.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of other deceptions in the world as well. All I'm saying is it's not far-fetched to believe that some people can masquerade to be something that they're not. That's all that I'm saying. Now we're going to continue with this video.
Hours of her investigation so far, every clip, every theory, just to see what's really going on. And what I found were 5 tactics that make Candace Owens not just convincing, but dangerously persuasive. And once you see them, you won't be able to unsee them.
Okay.
Now, obviously, a lot of people feel deceived and gaslit by institutions, and in many cases, rightly so. But that's not the only thing going on here. If you've ever watched one of our episodes, you'll notice it immediately. The odd footage, the timestamps, things that don't line up, the screenshots that don't make sense, and the random people who suddenly seem suspicious. But she doesn't just give you one or two of these. Every episode, she throws out more than you can count. Nearly 15 in this video alone, sometimes over 20. In fact, I say that this is virtually the entirety of her episodes. She gathers anything that could look suspicious, even if it could be random or unrelated.
On 9/4, Akash Patel as far as November and December. Then we have Frank Turek on October 7th. Well, Megyn Kelly.
And with so many anomalies being introduced every episode, at least a couple of them will strike you as strange. And given the sheer volume of her claims, your ability to think carefully about any of them gets drawn out by the sheer number of them. By the time you start to think critically about one date or rumor or insinuation, she's already moved on to the next. So eventually what happens is you stop paying attention to the quality of the evidence and you're overwhelmed by the quantity, leaving you to conclude that there's just simply too many strange things occurring for there not to be something more going on.
Okay, so I forget this guy's actual name, but the name of his YouTube channel is What Do You Mean? I hear what you're saying, and that's actually fair criticism. Here's the problem though, bro. The actual things that Candace are pointing out are legitimate issues, right? So, for example, if you point out the fact that they're saying Charlie allegedly got hit with a 30-06, and we have all these militaries and Green Beret professionals and ex-Marine and military coming out telling us this is not consistent. It makes no sense. But then Candace also comes out and says Charlie Kirk told 3 people the day before the Utah event that he was in fear of his life. But then she also shares, hey, I found this photo of Tyler Robinson at a Dairy Queen. But then she also comes out and says, I spoke to the student that saw the alleged shooter on the roof. But then she also comes out and says, what's some more evidence that's come out? She spoke to the guy who took the SD card, and the story he gave her made no sense. Yes, Candace Owens is throwing out a bunch of different things at once, but they're all legitimate. They're all legitimate claims. So how is that a knock that she's pointing out multiple different things that don't make sense? That's not a bad thing, brother. What should you do if you notice 5 red flags? Should you only just say one of them so that people don't think you're all over the place? Or do you point out every red flag that you find? What's the appropriate response here or approach here? What am I missing?
This can be thought of as an anomaly overload. It's what happens when a flood of speculation starts to feel like evidence and when the gaps in our knowledge become proof that something sinister is happening.
What's going on here? What are Egyptian military subcontractors doing in the middle of Provo, Utah on the day that Charlie Kirk was assassinated?
And even though she hasn't proven anything yet, within one episode, you've...
Okay, he keeps saying this thing. This is getting odd to me. What do you mean when you say prove anything? What do you mean when you say prove anything? Let's take one of Candace's claims, which it isn't her claim, solely her claim. Other people have said this as well, but a 30-06. Having us or trying to convince us to believe that Charlie had a magical neck. Hey, buddy, I have a question for you. Why aren't you talking about all the things Turning Point USA has failed to prove? What are you talking about here, buddy? They've yet to release the autopsy. Prove to us that Charlie Kirk actually got powed that day. That's my question. Will you actually show us that proof? Why are you letting Turning Point USA off the hook while bashing somebody who's trying to figure out the truth? That makes no sense. You have to be consistent. Because if you're going to make this video fair, now you need to make a video talking about Turning Point USA and all the lies they've been caught in.
Already moved on from curious to convinced. And all she had to do was to keep asking questions.
Right, but what's wrong with that? If something doesn't make sense and we've yet to get the answers to it, I would be convinced that something else is going on here as well. Like, what are you talking about? We don't need a Candace Owens to help us reach that conclusion.
The crime that you were not allowed to commit, just asking questions.
Okay, but her asking questions is exactly what's in question. If you listen closely to her podcast, often she is just asking questions, but in a way where people hear much more than just a question. Sometimes she makes the implications clear, as she did when implying that Donald Trump was involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination.
So I would like to share something real fast. Hold on one sec. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Shoot, where did it go? Where did it go? Someone said, here it is. Bruh, is she your family? You defend her so hard. At this point, it's idolatry. It's not idolatry. As I said at the beginning, I defend truth on this channel. And if an American comes out and says that a hit has been placed on their life, and then other people in government has since confirmed it, and then you have this, what seems to be a campaign against this person, when their life could be taken from them. At the end of the day, we're human beings, bro. At the end of the day, we're human beings. Brother, if this happened to you, Joel, I would do the same thing for you. The same thing for you. If people in government have come out and confirmed what you've said, and then they've also said that our government isn't doing anything to counter it, that should be an act of war, and it doesn't seem to be a priority. That's a problem, bro. So no, I'm not idolizing Candace Owens. It's kind of one of the hottest topics on social media right now. From a content creator's perspective, it falls in under what I talk about on this channel. But I'm also a human, and I have humanity. Anyways.
Is a circumstance where we just know that he was truly betrayed in one of the most egregious ways that I think I've ever seen. It has made me lose faith in politics. It has made me fully lose faith in Trump. And my heart aches for the fact that he gave so much of his life to Trump and to politics. And they just were like, nope, that is it. And he serves us or doesn't serve us, and we want to move on. And so here's a holiday. Bro, what is with them giving people a holiday after they kill them? As soon as they give you a boulevard and a holiday, they definitely killed you. There's no question. They killed you.
But most of the time, she stays just short of an accusation. Her questions are often laced with heavy inflammatory suspicion, framed as innocent curiosity, while implying someone's guilt or their hidden motives.
So what was the blue plane doing sitting on the tarmac?
That's what makes her question so powerful, because it gives her plausible deniability. If her theory collapses, she was just asking questions. But if it turns out to be true, then of course she was right all along. And that has a powerful effect on her audience. It's the way that she frames the questions that makes her audience hear them as evidence for a conspiracy. So she doesn't need to directly accuse anyone, because she sets it up so that way her audience fills in the blanks for her. But questions aren't evidence of anything sinister happening. When it comes to actual evidence, is how she controls the evidence that's one of the most important tactics that she uses. Take a look at this tweet from Blair White saying that almost no one has proved Tucker or her wrong. And the reason people can say this with so much confidence is because of the way that Candace handles evidence.
I have it now on a very well-placed authoritative source.
To start, when it comes to a lot of her claims, we simply aren't able to verify if they're true or not. She often cites unnamed sources, and we have no way of knowing who they are, how reliable they are, or what they actually said.
Bro, that since when has that ever mattered to y'all? So once again, when she was saying these things about Charlie Kirk, many of you all were saying she's lying. Why won't she reveal the source? She didn't even have to reveal the source, even though it was somebody at Turning Point USA. It was Andrew Covid. Andrew Covid comes out and verifies that he's the one that shared the text message thread with the federal government because he thought that it could be motive. Think about that. When he exposed that, they just like that, they've forgotten about it. They don't care about it anymore. That's a problem. That's a problem. So stop pretending as if whenever Candace does drop these receipts, you all care, because you don't. You don't.
We just have to take her word for it. So when people say to prove her wrong, well, most of the time you can't, because she hasn't provided any evidence that she's right. Now, I'm not saying she's doing this, but in theory, she could just be making it all up. This is why the burden of proof always falls on the person that's making the claim rather than the person questioning it. Okay, but here's where things get even more challenging. Even when we do have direct evidence showing that she's wrong, it still doesn't count. I mean, take a look at what she said about Netanyahu's letter from Charlie Kirk.
He is severely misrepresenting. Those sentences are real, but I am calling upon Bibi Netanyahu, the dear friend to Charlie Kirk, to publish the letter's entire contents. Like, don't start with just 2 sentences. Publish the entire thing. You're holding it. I'm saying you're severely misrepresenting the contents.
Now, this is a common power move. She forces Netanyahu to choose between 2 options. He can either release the personal letter to the public or keep it private and look guilty. And when the letter was released and it confirmed exactly what Netanyahu said, it didn't seem to change her mind. In fact, this is the same tactic that we see over and over. She demands evidence, and if you don't give it, then you're hiding something. But even if you do give it, it doesn't disprove her claim. Instead, she treats the evidence as suspicious or even as more proof of a cover-up. So either way, she wins. And
No. Don't you move forward. You said that she listened to how she spoke. And this is also what the TPUSA pastor said when he came on the show. He said that the way Candace spoke about the letter, she made it sound as if Charlie Kirk's tone was a bit different. I agree with you. If you listen to Candace, you probably would have thought that Charlie Kirk was talking to Bibi Netanyahu in a particular way. But the letter did not prove Candace Owens wrong, because in that letter, Bibi Netanyahu invited Charlie Kirk to Israel. What Bibi Netanyahu failed to share was that Charlie Kirk turned it down. He also offered Charlie Kirk money. He turned it down. Why are you not speaking about that? What do you mean? That's kind of important because of the reason he turned it down. When you couple that with the text message thread, with the video of him on Megyn Kelly on the PBD podcast, it paints a completely different picture. It does.
that makes it almost impossible for our audience to recognize when she's been proven wrong. In addition, remember when she said this about Bill Ackman blackmailing Charlie?
You're not going to gaslight us and tell us to shut up or call us anti-Semitic for pointing out the fact that Charlie was having a change of heart about the tactics that Israel was using in America, and that he felt when he had left that meeting that he had effectively been blackmailed.
But just 3 days later, when Bill Ackman denied it, she said,
"Okay, buddy, I never said you blackmailed Charlie. I asked you if this moment happened."
So notice how she shifted the claim and then frames him as the liar. And that's what we really see going on here, because the way that she gets you hooked is not in the evidence she presents, but in how she frames the evidence. You see, at core, humans are emotional beings, and we respond strongest to emotional arguments. And on social media, nothing spreads faster than moral outrage. It gives us a sense of righteous anger, the feeling that we're on the side of good and standing against evil. And this is something that Candace has nearly mastered, because in every episode, she leans into moral outrage, not just about what happened, but about why more people aren't as angry as she is. And she regularly questions anyone that isn't digging into the case the way that she is.
We all feel that something is spiritually wrong, and yet these people are trying to tell you that there's nothing to see here.
Okay, but if you pay close attention, you notice that she isn't just assuming the very thing that she hasn't proven, that Tyler Robinson wasn't the shooter. She's also treating disagreement with her as a moral test. In her framing, if you disagree with her, you're not just wrong, you're morally wrong, or worse, morally compromised.
I like how you just shared that, leaving out so much context. I mean, it's just so disingenuous, bro. If a person makes a claim like what you just played from Candace, and again, replace Candace with any Joe Schmo. It doesn't matter who the person is. If you make a claim like that, but what's backing your claim or what's encouraging you to make a statement like that is the fact that you're telling us that he was pow with a 30-06. There's no video footage of this man ever being on campus. There's no video footage of this kid ever being on the roof. There's no video footage of this man pulling the trigger. There's all these military people coming out saying that what we allegedly saw happen to Charlie Kirk doesn't make any sense. There's no red liquid. The story that the guy who took the SD card, the story that he gave, isn't consistent. Andrew Kovic telling her that Tucker Carlson and her are next, or that they should lay low. When you got the judge putting a gag order on all quote unquote 3,000 people, which I'm starting to question if that crowd was even real. That's a legitimate reason to believe there's no way you're looking at this objectively and not saying something's off here. We're clearly being lied to. It doesn't have to be a Candace Owens telling us.
People are afraid to disagree with her, not only because they're worried about being attacked by her and her fans, but they'll also be painted as immoral, naive, or corrupt. So whether she intends it or not, she creates a powerful good versus evil dynamic. And that's why any disagreement that me or others have with her instantly turns into accusations that we're somehow being paid $7,000 by Israel. In their minds, the only reason that you disagree with them is because you're part of the conspiracy. You notice that she doesn't just argue a case, she creates a cause. And the result is what we see today. A fierce and growing community which keeps her audience loyal, even when she has nothing more to go on than a gut feeling.
See, here's the problem. Once again, that's fair criticism. But my issue is if someone like you or anyone else came out and made a video like this, but I also saw on your channel that you were pointing out all the red flags. So you will say, in other words, I don't like Candace's approach. However, I do agree with Candace that there's all these red flags. This is how I would approach it instead. Then I would agree with you. But I notice a pattern. Everybody that makes videos like you call out Candace for being crazy or whatever your argument is. But then you have no videos for all the red flags, the weird behavior by Mikey McCoy, turn it around in less than a second. Behavior like that can almost only be described as behavior of somebody that knew what was going to happen. I'm not saying that's the case. But when you turn around that fast, you're never belligerent, you're calm, and you walk off, you're at the back of the parking lot, you don't drop your call logs to prove who you called. People like this guy ignores all of that. He doesn't make any videos about that. None of the red flags, he doesn't see them. The text messages from Charlie, he doesn't care about them. That's what makes you come off as fraudulent. And I hope he sees this video.
No, but I know.
And this is when we get into another powerful tactic, spiritual attacks. Lately, she's moved a lot of her attention over to the Christians who don't agree with her. And one thing that she really doesn't like is when Christians use scripture to point out what's wrong with what she's doing, as she made clear in her response to Frank Turek.
Then we have Frank Turek, who engages in this same sort of act of psychological manipulation, in my viewpoint. And he defends Mikey McCoy. I think this is on his own show. Here's what he had to say.
There's a difference between a possibility and evidence for a possibility. You can speculate on anything you want, but unless you have evidence, shut up, okay? Because all you're doing is causing dissension among the brothers.
So hold up. So if you are watching what happened that day, whether you believe that video was AI, you believe it was real, whatever, and I'm referring to Charlie Kirk himself, If you're watching what happened and you see Mikey McCoy turn away in literally less than a second, which is record timing, you have to understand how fast that is. There's no way you saw what happened in less than a second. You didn't run, you didn't duck, you didn't ask anybody what happened, you didn't try to help Charlie, you didn't stick around, you calmly walked away before you even saw what happened. You kept the phone up to your ear. That is a little bit more than odd. So what you're saying is, if we don't have evidence as to why he did that, don't even point it out. What? What? It's not going to work, buddy. If I have 3 roommates and I come home one day and my cookies are missing and I don't have video footage of who took them, but one of my roommates has cookie crumbs on his shirt, shouldn't I at least be suspicious of him? I'm not going to accuse you of doing it, but shouldn't I be suspicious? Shouldn't I at least question you? According to these people, if you don't have evidence that he took your cookies, don't talk about it.
Which is something the Lord hates.
So the clip goes on, but she not only labels his correction as psychological manipulation, she escalates it by calling his argument a form of spiritual deception.
The other thing he's doing, of course, is the biblical manipulation, which seems to me to be that there has been a military infiltration into the churches. I think we've covered that enough this year. I've termed that Operation Mocking Pastor, where they just try to find some scripture and justify it. And he's a pastor. He's earned trust. So he's saying she's judging people. The Lord says this. The Lord says she shouldn't look into the trial. The Lord says she shouldn't ask questions. The Lord thinks that people should just shut up, right? That to me is like the sickest form of manipulation. The sickest form of manipulation is to try to present it via the lens of what God would want. You don't have to do that. Just say what you think, say what you mean, and try to manipulate people the old school way, okay?
Now, this has become more of a pattern because even more recently, she not only dismissed Ali Beth Stuckey's scripture-filled critique by calling her Christianity fake, but even worse, Candace doesn't seem to mind appealing to God in the Bible when it suits her case.
There's no justification. There definitively cannot be any godly justification for what they have done and what they have always done in Gaza. Once you recognize the people defending that, beyond this, you will start to look at them as possessed by some sort of a demon. And typically that demon is just money. Okay. They just want the money.
Okay. I'm not going to put y'all through that anymore. I think my point has been proven. Like, bro, if you're making a great case, and I want to say this real quick, we have 4,200 people in this room. Thank you so much for tuning in. Whether you like what I'm saying, you don't like what I'm saying, let me use this time to say, please hit the like button. And I also want to use this time to say, if you found this channel in the last month, I do not only make content about Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk, and Turning Point USA. 99% of my channel is about other things. And I highly encourage you to check it out because it's super deep stuff. In fact, I'm working on a video right now that's more so tied to the music industry, but it's important because a lot of these psychological operations are used by way of artists and musicians. All right. But I want to know from you all, what am I missing when it comes to Candace Owens? That's a genuine question. It's not a reverse psychological question. I don't just want people that agree with me. If What Do You Mean was in here right now, I would have him to join. I want to know what I'm missing because it seems to be like anybody who's curious about what really happened that day, you're attacked. You know? It's very weird. You know? Very, very weird. And them pretending that Candace Owens getting attacked by the government is so far-fetched. Let me reveal something to you. There's somebody by the name of Mary Bardali. Do y'all know who that is? Mary Bardali. She is a former senior DOJ official and the daughter of former Attorney General Bill Barr. All right? The daughter of Bill Barr. Let me show you all what was exposed. A text message thread that was exposed from this woman, which is literally, once again, she was a part of the DOJ in 2021. Let me show you all what happened. This is a text thread. She says, "Hi, I need you to start working on the blank and Candace Owens' case. Armstrong will give you the commands, but we need to focus on black and blank first. Work with Armstrong on this. Send some underage girl to secure him. He's an easy target. The harder one is Candace because she's very resistant. Gather the group to come up with a good strategy, but don't waste time. For blank, it would be good to have something we could use to put him in jail." It goes on to say, "Have you been working on the issue with Candace Owens? We need to blackmail her faster. Classic has been very affected. Tell Armstrong to send the photographer to follow her and also follow her husband. AW want to know if they need to focus on Candace or blank." She responds and says, "Candace first. I am so angry at her that I can't stop thinking. If the things she says about Classic are taken seriously, they will investigate the use of money in the election campaign. We have to bring out material to destroy her reputation before she gets to us." People, this is the government official. This is a government official. It's proven right here that they have conspired against this person. Right? Let me see if I can. Let me show y'all something else. This is crazy. So there's somebody named Kimberly Classic. So let's see here. So where is it? Owens spends 2 months telling her followers the Trump administration, especially the FBI, cannot be trusted. Now she's running to them for help. I've noticed no one from the administration has publicly acknowledged any of her claims. So hold up one sec. Let me make sure I get this right. Hold up. Your argument is an American citizen has said mean things, has said bad things about the government, about the president, has said critical things about the president. Okay. And because this American citizen has done this and says that they can't be trusted, therefore this same American citizen should not be protected by the government. Is that your argument, Kimberly? I'm going to say this again. When you are the president, when you are hired to work for the FBI, you are hired to protect all American citizens. You are the president for all American citizens, not just American citizens that voted for you, not just the ones that agree with you, not just the ones on the same political aisle, on the same side of the political aisle as you. You are the president for everybody, including the ones that hate you the most. You are the president for them too. And it is your due diligence to protect all of them. This person says It's weird that Candace Owens is calling on the same administration she's been criticizing. When there's been literal, and apparently there was a lawsuit that Candace Owens won against this person, where Candace Owens, it was ordered to pay Candace Owens $115,000 in legal fees. Who won Kim Classic's lawsuit against Candace Owens? Candace Owens won. I don't get these people. Like these comments, I don't know, y'all. Like, one of the biggest comments I have is, do they read the comments? Because they got to bother you at least a little bit. I know I interact with y'all all the time. Before I log off of here, before I read your comments, I want to show you all a couple of videos, if you are new to this channel, that will be great introductions to this channel. Will be great introductions while I still have about 4,200 people in the room. Let me see. Let's see. So, let's see. Donald Trump, Dark Magician. If you are new to this channel, this is the video I would highly recommend right here. Trump the Dark Magician, the hidden meaning of his presidency. Please go and check that out when you get a chance. I think you'll be in for a treat. Another one. Let's see. Donald Trump, Freemasonry. Here's another one. The Dark Truth, Donald Trump, Albert Pike, and Freemasonry. Here's an even bigger one. What's her name? Kamala Harris. Just so you all can see I'm consistent. Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? No, none of those. It's government. Let's see. There it is. The government's hidden agenda behind abortion and women's rights. I would highly recommend you all come and check this video out. This is one of my best works, in my opinion. Just one of them. Another great video to check out is, of course, if you haven't seen the Martin Luther King documentary, that video is probably going to blow your mind. If you're new to the show, this is the video for you. The Martin Luther King Jr. Hidden Agenda, Hero or Hoax. Yeah, that video is probably going to blow your mind. And for those of you that have seen it, please hop in the comment section right now and let people know what your views are. Whether you liked it, loved it, hated it. Let people know. Let me see if there's one more recommendation. Just so people can know, like we talk about other things on this channel. My Michael Jackson video. That video might hurt a lot of people's feelings. That video is up there. If you're looking for some super deep stuff, the Michael Jackson video. How the CIA used Diddy, Tupac, and Biggie to manipulate Black America. That's a pretty big one. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and get to your comments, your super chats. Didi, it's not that they don't believe it. They need people to believe they don't. Okay. They need to gaslight people into thinking they're nuts, liars, fools. Okay, I follow you. I follow you. Because I'm genuinely curious. What am I missing with this? You know? If Candace provides irrefutable proof that they put $1.5 million on her head, man, it's fair for you to be asking her to provide proof. But when other people in government have already come out and confirmed it, does she have to come out and reveal the person that told her this? Right? What would you all call proof? Because she can easily fake an email and cover up a name. You all would then say, how do we know if that's really from a government official? You all still wouldn't believe it. You know? That's all I'm saying. Holla, keep up the good work, Didi. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Badell, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Candace was demonized most of her YouTube channel. Demonetized? Is that what you mean? For a good chunk of time, she was. You're right. I think for like 6 months or something. What up, William? Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Just got here. What did I miss? Snake poem. Okay. I got you. I promise you I got you. As soon as I'm done with these comments, I'm going to go check out the snake poem. Candace called out rich and aliens, people like Musk. Yep. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat, Adrian. Yeah, you're right. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I recently found your channel and wanted to let you know I appreciate your boldness and your faith and your content. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. For sure. Thank you so much for supporting me. Why is Erica Kirk's OBGYN? What? I didn't know that. Is that true? Can somebody confirm that in the chat? I didn't know this. I know that they were saying that, Erica Kirk. Also, if you all want me to cover, there's a huge Cam Newton. He's a football player. Cam Newton story that's trending right now. And I'm going to tie it into some Hollywood occultism stuff. If you all want me to go live about that tomorrow, if at least 100 people comment that they want me to do that, it's going to be super deep. I promise you. Then wait for the video to end because I won't be able to see the live chats once I end the live. Wait till the video to end and then comment Cam Newton. If at least 100 people comment Cam Newton, I'll go live about that tomorrow in the middle of me working on this new documentary. But they were saying that Erica Kirk was potentially pregnant, 8 weeks pregnant. But apparently she denied that yesterday or in a clip from yesterday. That would have been crazy. So if somebody can confirm if that's true about the OBGYN. Thank you so much for the $20. So what does MX mean? Because I don't even know if that's $2. I mean, $20 or $5 or whatever. But thank you for the super chat. All these fools know how to do is reject always. Yeah. I personally don't call people fools, but I do get your point. It's weird. Fetus in a jar on Larry King Live, Barbara Bush. $2.99. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Let me look that up. Fetus in a jar. Fetus in a jar. Larry King, Barbara Bush. Let me go to that. Okay, I'm gonna pull it up in real time. Let's see. I'm gonna do it without the sound.
For years.
I'm trying to see this person up close. Man. It gets a little bit more difficult when the person is older like that, but yeah. Yeah, it gets But that other interview I showed y'all, it's weird. It's weird. It just buys into the idea that maybe some of these people are not who we think they are for real, you know? Top Knox Media, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Yo, Didi, do you know that there is from what I understand, a credible rumor that the Barbara Bush, it's real dad is Aleister Crowley? No. Oh no, I didn't. I've never heard that one. I actually don't know a whole lot about Barbara Bush. So maybe that's something I can do a documentary on. If y'all interested, maybe that will be a Patreon exclusive because I won't be able to drop that on YouTube. But maybe I can drop that on Patreon. Link is in the description to the Patreon, by the way. There's several videos over there that you can't find on YouTube. Project Constitution. Hey man, first and foremost, thank you so much for the $50 super chat. Go follow him. He has been going ham on Twitter or X. He's been going ham. If you all support my work, you want to follow Project Constitution. Really, really dope channel. He's broken some stories over there. Which, by the way, we got about 3,800 people left in here. So let me say this while many of you are still here. I think it's on Project Constitution's channel. So I'm gonna play the clip so that you all can see it for yourself. There it is. Okay. So they're saying that we could potentially be on the brink of World War III, which they could be using as a psyop or a distraction based on Candace's tweet yesterday. But I understand a lot of you all think that Candace is conceited and she thinks the world revolves around her. So I'm not speaking to those of you that think that way. But I'm going to show Project Constitution some love with this one. Shocking. French President Emmanuel Macron just threatened World War III to bury Candace Owens' Brigitte expose and French hit squad plot. Let's take a listen to what this guy has to say.
Breaking news coming out in the last hour. Prepare for war is the warning that it is the only way for peace. Now, as I mentioned, this just coming out in the past hour. Headlines starting to roll out across the news media outlets as it says that France's Macron says that Europe, they must be ready for war if it wants peace. They're saying that this is essentially going to be the only way, according to French President Macron, saying that Europe will ready itself for war. And it says France's Macron says that Europe must be ready if Russia escalates the tensions. This article coming out from Reuters just 36 minutes ago, and it is linked in the description below. Now, this is some pretty incredible major news. This would essentially pull everyone into war. If France and Europe go to war, NATO goes to war, Russia goes to war, we would see a dominoes effect of countries entering into war. So this is essentially a World War III warning that could be starting here, that is sparked as France is saying that this is the only way. And again, that would also pull in the United States and several other of the allies of Europe, as they're saying that this is the way, as tensions are increasing as well. You missed my video literally just 2 hours ago. I posted a video of the warnings coming out as Russian President Vladimir Putin has said that they are ready for nuclear war.
Now, let me just say this. It's very important to keep in mind that one of the videos that I just showed you all, I speak about Freemasonry. I speak about a guy by the name of Albert Pike. Albert Pike is like one of the most revered Freemasons in American history, in world history, and Freemasonry history. Well, there's a letter he wrote, many people argue if the letter is real or not, but he speaks about World War III. And matter of fact, let me see if I can pull up something. World War III, Albert Pike letter. So I'm gonna just read this just so we can all be on the same page. Keep up the great work, Dee Dee. Thank you so much, Project Constitution, for show. I already know you locked in with the content. Let me pull this up and read this for people who may be newer to the channel. A lot of you all have seen this already who've been following me, but a lot of people, remember, we gotta recycle some of this information for those that are newer to the channel. So where did it go? Let me see if I can just save this. Downloads, save. So, okay. Let me see if I can pull this up a different way. Okay, so that's very, very small. If you're on like, anyways, it talks about the First World War, the Second World War, and then the Third World War. And essentially the Third World War, it says must be, let me see if I can make this bigger. Nope, I can't. Must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences caused by the agenter of the agent of the Illuminati between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam and political Zionism mutually destroy each other. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economical exhaustion. And this letter was allegedly written a long time ago, 1871. So even if this letter is fake, can anyone explain to me how it is that it appears that we're headed in that direction? Anybody? That's all I would say. All right. Project Constitution, once again, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Regardless if the source is telling the truth or not, she had to go public with this intel for her safety. It's up to the U.S. government to verify the credibility. Exactly. If Candace Owens is lying for clout or for attention, I don't know why she would need the clout and attention. Been one of the top podcasters for the last decade. She's now the official #1 podcaster. The woman has more live viewers than CNN and Fox News. She gets more views than CNN and Fox News combined. The woman doesn't need any more attention. Stop saying that. God forbid that any of us are ever in her position, but if we are, I will go public too. Right? There's something great. In one of the clips I shared at the very beginning of this live, the guy said he believes that it's somebody above the Macrons. Right? Because everybody got a boss. These orders are coming from other people. Now, all of a sudden, it's hard to believe that journalists who are telling the truth, man, I wish I screenshotted that. There's a list of people in France that have lost their life under the Macrons, since the Macrons have been the president, have been in it, since their administration has been running France. There's a list of journalists and other people that have spoken out against the Macrons Emmanuel Macron, Brigitte Macron, talking about incest and other weird practices that they believe is taking place in their country. If you don't know, I believe the legal age in France is like 14. Something weird like that. So imagine if they're complaining. Now all of a sudden it's hard to believe that they're taking out journalists. There's a long documented history in France of it. Remember, Candace didn't even just say it was her life. She said her life and Xavier Prasad. Right? William, what's up, bro? Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. He got $7,000. She isn't the sole investigator, right? You're talking about, what do you mean? Yeah. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Avon's crazy. Trigger Smart. I keep seeing that name in my comment section. I may have to go and check that channel out. Trigger Smart just concluded his live with an audio expert. Came to a staged shooting conclusion. A lot of math and facts, taxes as well. Oh, you talking about the Charlie Kirk situation? If you follow my Patreon, you already know. I've shared it on YouTube too. But you already know what I feel about happened that day. So just keep in mind, whenever you hear me talk about the Charlie Kirk incident, that's a given. The belief that I have what truly happened and what didn't happen that day is a given. Everything else, it's outside of that point. You see what I'm saying? Because Mikey McCoy's behavior is weird whether Charlie Kirk lost his life that day or didn't. Do you follow me? It's weird regardless. That doesn't change. You know what I'm saying? It's weird to the general public, I mean. It wouldn't be weird to the Charlie Kirk family or to Turning Point USA. Allegedly. But I'm going to check out Trigger Smart after this live. The Reals, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Didi Orem UT has flock cameras, yet Candace Owens said the only two pics they showed of TR came from people's Ring camera, and most likely that got Phil Lyman's family's home. Yeah, and that whole little block was apparently Phil Lyman's home. You're right. Was Phil Lyman's family's owned by Phil Lyman's family. Flock is super surveillance. They can use AI track TR easy. Yeah. Yeah. Now I follow you. Q1, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Debate Jay Witt or react to his Candace Owens videos. I don't know who Jay Witt is, but I'm willing to debate if it makes sense. William, thank you so much for $2 super chat. Dude is a liar. You called out Candace many times. Oh yeah, exactly. You talking about the guy from earlier saying that I'm always defending Candace. Bro, have you seen my Candace Owens documentary? People got to understand that I'm nuanced when it comes to it. Just depends on what we're talking about with these people. If a person says something that's true, you say that it's a lie, I'm going to defend that person. And that person that's telling the truth can be one of the most evil people ever. But don't lie on the person. You follow me? So, William, thank you so much for pointing that out. You're right. Marlena, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. You are missing that most people cannot and will not recognize the depths of evil that is in this world. Absolutely. Therefore, they are unable to entertain the information that Candace puts forth. Exactly. It's just a bunch of conspiracy theories. It's like, hold on. Can we agree that PDF files exist? Everybody will agree with that. Can we agree that PDF files sometimes get together, start a group chat, and even start online group chat? Yes, we can all agree that that exists. So why is it so hard to believe that some of those people might become politicians? That's not hard to believe. You know what I mean? Nikki, darling, thank you so much for the follow super chat. Charlie Kirk is zero audible spray, yet he was moving after he went down. Possible. This is a psyop. You get no pushback from me. We're on YouTube, so I'm gonna be responsible. You get no pushback from me. Again, if you follow me on Patreon, you already locked in. We already know what's going on. Slacker Elizabeth, thank you so much for the follow super chat. Candace posted on X 54 minutes ago. Did she really? Let me go and see. Yeah, where that's at? I don't see it. Oh, there it is. We cannot live in a world where governments collude to protect Jeffrey Epstein and to take out Charlie Kirk. This doesn't work. We elect rulers who stay silent or choose to look the other way when children are being abused because of money or cowardice. This no longer works. What I will say is, like, when Candace is saying things like that, Candace is aware that people are calling her crazy and cuckoo, and she makes stuff up, and she's doing this for attention. So I would just imagine that, like, when she's making these claims, that she's aware that she's increasing the pressure on her. You know what I mean? Which I'm sure she understands, and she doesn't seem bothered. You know? Once again, everybody, as a reminder, please hit the like button if you don't mind. Please hit the like button. But Julie, thank you so much for letting me know that she posted. So that for anybody that felt that she was missing, as I already addressed this at the beginning, she's not missing. She just didn't go live today. Ronnie, thank you so much for the $20 super chat, man, for sure. I believe it's basically the fact the people have been programmed to dismiss Candace by media and other podcasters. For many, challenging the mainstream narrative and living outside the Overton window puts you in cray category. Can I pin this comment somewhere? Like, I want to pin this comment somewhere. Spot on, bro. Spot on. Like, if you start saying things like, I believe that some of the people in power may not have our best interests in mind. In fact, I think there's good reason to believe that they may be colluding. When you start using words like colluding, they're like, oh, hold on. This guy's lost his mind. He's went crazy. I'm like, wait a minute. I feel great. I feel fine. I don't take medication. I don't do drugs. I'm just talking about the way the world works. I'm pointing out evil. Why are you upset about that? You know? Slacker Elizabeth, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Didi, I found your channel like recently. Mind blown. Dang it, I wish I could ask you. I don't know if you're still on the channel. I mean, if you're still in the live, Elizabeth, because I know you've super chatted before. I'm curious, what is the video that you've seen from the channel that blew your mind? Because again, a lot of people are finding my channel because of the Charlie Kirk content. But that's not even 95% of this channel's content. You know, I have real documentaries, as many of you already know. So I'm curious to know what was the video for you where you were like, whoa. A lot of people have said that it's either the Martin Luther King, the Michael Jackson video. Those are probably like two of them where people's mind was blown. People have really liked the Clive Davis one that I just did a few weeks ago as well. That took a long time. Like, that took more time than it took me for the Martin Luther King video. Lemon Lou, thank you so much for the follow super chat. Dig deeper of Mr. Bush. Okay. All right, bet. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I'll watch you in Mexico, Didi. Oh, Mexican pesos. Okay. Heck yeah. Thanks, man. I got people in Mexico. Gracias. Mi amigo. Gabrielle, thank you so much for the $100 super chat. I don't think I've ever gotten a $100 super chat before. Not live before. Wow, that's dope, man. Thank you so much. Keep It Up was deployed to Afghanistan and Iraq, where to a few CIA compounds, no phones, 5-star shelf, etc. Wow. I would love to talk to you someday. Seriously. That's big time. See, if you have, this is what I'm saying. You have people who have actually been deployed, have been in these circles in the mix. And if they're not even coming out, now all of them are not going to agree on everything, I'm sure, but if the person like this is supporting what we're doing, clearly we can't be that crazy, right? Why is it so hard to believe that corruption can happen in our government? Well, of course, until it's about somebody that you like. Until somebody that you don't like is the person that's exposing it, then you're like, ooh, I don't want to support that. Truth is truth, and it shouldn't matter who it comes from. So thank you again for the $100 super chat. That's big time. Jamie, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Notice how he told you how her content made you feel. No facts to back up claim. Exactly. Exactly. He's doing the very thing he's accusing Candace of doing. The battle is won. We have to trust. Love like Christ. Use discernment and pay attention to your immediate reality. Very well said, Jamie. Very well said. My God, thank you so much for the $20 Mexican pesos. Never forget, Macron is a Rothschild's protege. Can anybody refute that? They'll come, American influencers coming to the defense of a French president or French president, quote unquote, first lady, but they're ignoring that. And if you know anything about the Rothschilds, I've talked about them in some of my documentaries. If you know, you know. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Ron 1600, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. The world is waking up, man. Charlie created Turning Point because he was awake for years. Now this is the real turning point. He wanted happening now. Maybe he wanted this happening, maybe not. I don't know. But there is literally a turning point. What if that's the PSYOP? What if that was the whole purpose of it being called Turning Point USA, for this situation to take place, which I do believe was staged, for this to take place, for there then to be a turning point in this country? Many people believe that Candace is playing a role in that. I don't know that to be a fact or not. What I know is that the same things and the same suspicions that she has, I have them as well. I don't have them because she has them. She's not manipulating me. I'm a free thinker. It just so happens that the same things that she's noticing, I'm noticing them too. You know? Your criticism about people like Candace Owens would be more legitimate if you're also consistent when it comes to other people around the situation. But you are completely blind when it comes to Turning Point. You're completely blind with the red flags from that day. You're completely blind with Freemasonry and the Freemasonry connections to the event, to the odd behavior from Cash Patel. Okay, cool. I'm still shocked you never heard Snake Poem. Thank you for reminding me. Let's look up Snake Poem before I get up off of here. I think he said it's a video. Let's see, Snake Poem. Okay, let's play this. It says Trump reads Snake Poem. Let's see.
Who has heard the poem called The Snake? So I have it. Does anybody want to hear it again? You sure? Are you sure?
What happened to this president? What happened to this guy? You know, the guy that people fell in love with, so many conservatives fell in love with. He was witty. He was sharp, sarcastic, can control the audience, all of that. People felt connected. A lot of white Americans, white conservatives, but not just white conservatives. A lot of so-called black and brown conservatives felt connected to this guy. They felt like like he really understood them. The common folk, the hurting American, the struggling American, the struggling Christian. Look at Trump now. He said he called y'all weaklings. He said that we're weaklings. He said the Epstein files is a Democrat hoax. They asked him about Charlie Kirk less than 2 days after the Charlie Kirk incident happened. Donald Trump said he was doing incredibly well. How about you look at this beautiful ballroom that we got built over here? Like what?
Okay. So let's dedicate this to General Kelly, the Border Patrol, and the ICE agents for doing such an incredible job. Right? This was written by Al Wilson a long time ago. And I thought of it having to do with our borders and people coming in. And we know what we're going to have. We're going to have problems. We have to very, very carefully vet. We have to be smart. We have to be vigilant. So here it is, the snake. It's called the snake. On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake. His pretty colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. Poor thing, she cried, I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you. The border. Take me in, oh tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, oh tender woman, sighed the vicious snake. She wrapped him up all cozy in a comforter of silk and laid him by her fireside with some honey and some milk. She hurried home from work that night, and as soon as she arrived, she found that pretty snake she'd taken in had been revived. Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed that vicious snake. She clutched him to her bosom. You're so beautiful, she cried. But if I hadn't brought you in by now, oh heavens, you would have died. She stroked his pretty skin again and kissed him and held him tight. But instead of saying thank you, that snake gave her a vicious bite. Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed the vicious snake. I have saved you, cried the woman, and you've bitten me, heavens, why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die. Oh, shut up, silly woman, said the reptile with a grin. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in.
Wow. What's the context of him reading this? That snake is the reader himself. Serpents have a history of trickery. Who is here because of the snake eyes and Charlie Kirk? Oh, wow. This is more relevant with each passing day. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Maya Angelou. I'm pretty sure she was a part of a sorority. We let the snake in twice. That is crazy. That is actually crazy. He read it so many times, the snake is himself. That's why. Oh. Okay, I see why you wanted me to read that. They're saying that Trump is the snake himself. convincing people that he was one thing, got into the White House, and turned out to be something different. Anybody that's objective can clearly see that Trump is not the same Trump as before. I mean that literally and figuratively, if I'm being honest with you. But we can talk about that in another video. William, thank you, man. I'm going to study that video. Maybe I'll make a video on that. That's actually very interesting. All right, last comment. Has anyone looked into the claims she made about France's First Lady? Not sure if anyone looked into it. That's a wild find if true. Oh, are you talking about Brigitte Macron? Hey, go and watch Becoming Brigitte on Candace Owens' YouTube channel. That it's going to blow your mind. I think it's like 3 or 4 parts. It's going to blow your mind. If you're objective, even if you're not objective, and you go into it hoping to prove her wrong, it's not Candace Owens' work. It's Xavier Brassard and other journalists out of France. It's their work, and she gives them credit. The work that's presented in that docu-series will blow your mind. Straight up. So yes, I have looked into it. I'm convinced. I'm more than convinced. It has nothing to do with because it's Candace Owens. If Candace Owens lies, I'll agree with you. She lied. That documentary is going to blow your mind. Straight up. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here, man. I love y'all, man. I gave y'all the videos to check out. If you're new to the channel, there's several documentaries on this channel, but I gave you the ones that are most. What do you have against Trump? I don't have anything against Trump personally. I don't follow any politician. I follow Jesus Christ. Every politician is corrupt in their own way. If you tell people that you're going to do something and you get into the house and you don't do it, or you get into office and don't do it, that makes you a liar, doesn't it? All right. That's all. I have the same smoke for Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Barack Obama, George Bush, Bill Clinton, all of it. Right? Somebody said that was not Barbara Bush. Who was that then? What are you talking about? Hold on. Before I end this live, let's go and look together. Let's put in Barbara Bush. Barbara Bush interview. What are you talking about? That is Barbara Bush. If that's not Barbara, unless you mean like that's another person cosplaying as Barbara Bush, there's that person there. Claims to be the same person. Yeah, it looks different when they're older, maybe. What are you talking about? Yeah, it looks like the same person to me. Yep. But all right, y'all. I'm going to get up out of here. Love y'all. Have a good rest of your night. I'm going to get back to this documentary I've been working on. I'll catch y'all in the next one. I'm Demetrius. I go by Didi. Peace.